Hello and welcome back to Raw 12:51 AM's coverage of the Warwick SU Spring Elections. I'm here with Harry, who is running for Welfare and Campaigns Officer for the next academic year, and we're just going to be asking him a few questions about why he thinks he should be in the running for the role. So, Harry, to start off, what are your key priorities for the role if you were to be elected?
I've got three main priorities, and these are all based around your needs as students. These are tackling the cost of living crisis head on, making sure campus is safe and welcoming for everyone, and addressing the mental health concerns that face students who are currently suffering from mental ill health or who may need more support when it comes to mental health.
Yeah, and obviously we'll start off with that. So how would you seek to improve mental health and wellbeing provision on campus?
So mental health is a big aspect, and as a residential community assistant or residential life tutor working in halls, I've seen the impacts of poor mental health on students. So I would propose to bring Nightline to residences. This means I'll be bringing volunteers to promote the Nightline service in student halls, residents, and have a quick dial button on residents' phones so students can call Nightline anonymously and for free from their residences. Additionally, I would suggest and mandate that all departments have mental health trained personal tutors that students can be assigned to, and have a 24/7 mental health crisis advisor who can be accessed in person or over the phone at all times.
Yeah, and what would you do to tackle issues of spiking that may take place both on and off campus?
Yeah. So it's very different what I would do for on and off campus. First of all, there needs to be an enhanced awareness of what spiking is. Spiking with alcohol is still spiking. I think that's stating the obvious. And additionally, enhanced searching for people who enter spaces such as spaces managed by the SU, such as POP, the Copper Rooms, and any other SU ran events, such as the Sports Bowl. For off campus, there's a plan to, I propose to start a partnership called Safer Nights Out Partnership, with Safer Clubbing Partnership in Leamington, partnering with Smack, Neon Casbah, and Ivy House to host students only club nights where only students with valid Warwick ID or, for example, Coventry ID can enter, and they are searched to make sure that it's a safe environment.
Yeah, and what are the biggest issues you feel regarding accommodation, and how would you solve these?
Well, there's issues for on and off campus. I'm personally affected by issues with on-campus accommodation because the rent, even for staff, is going up. It's with making sure students rent safe, affordable accommodation. My friend recently had his house flood because they couldn't afford to turn on the heating. The landlord did nothing, rendering them homeless. They had to travel back home and could not attend their seminars at university simply because their landlord was unwilling to help. This is unacceptable. What I would do is make sure that there's a list of estate agents that are known to be reputable. There's one in particular that has a really bad reputation among students, and make sure that the students' union actually helps students review contracts, just like they do in other universities such as Bristol, and advise students on what to look for in housing by producing useful checklists and bundles for them.
Yeah, and how would you build upon current work to improve transport? Obviously, a big issue for students,
Oh, yeah.
especially off campus.
Yes. As a student who comes onto campus every day of the week, I can tell you, especially during Sundays and non-term times, they are a wreck. They are a wreck. So one thing I would do for transport is propose that the unibus truly be a unibus. Right now, the U1 service linking the University in Leamington stops at a lot of stops that are not frequently used by students, such as those beyond Touchbrook Street. And it seems that, especially during peak times, a lot of non-students are actually using those services. So apart from increasing services, I would talk to Stagecoach about creating a university community only bus line, making U1 truly a unibus service. And also, I would actually say, if I could, prevent Stagecoach from advertising within the students' union until they resolve the issues with bus frequency.
Yeah, and how would you ensure the welfare of students that maybe suffering through the cost of living crisis that we're currently going through?
So this is actually my main priority. I guess we save the best for last, don't we? So the main concern about cost of living is how affordable is food and other essential items. So I'd be proposing that there be a free breakfast option for students, which has already been implemented across certain universities in the country. Lobby the university to reduce parking charges to be in line with the staff rate, the discounted staff rate. Propose a price freeze on university and student union food and drinks offerings. And crucially, this is for, other points are available in my manifesto, but free membership to academic societies without having to pay for the federation fee, if I'm allowed to, and also allow students to join a selection, to join perhaps a sports club for free. Because I understand that even though this might not actually end up passing in the SU, a lot of students are prevented from accessing sports at university simply because of cost. And that, to me, seems unacceptable given that we are trying to be inclusive here.
Yeah, and obviously it's not only welfare that is part of the role, it's also campaigns. So what campaigns would you seek to run over the next year if you were to be elected?
Yeah. So one of the big campaigns I'll be running is called the Safer Travel Partnership. And the Safer Travel Partnership not only will enhance bus services by, for example, making sure that students are not left stranded on campus in the cold late at night by having frequent fast bus services, but also ensuring that it is only students that can actually take our uni bus, which means that we have safe and secure atmosphere. And also the Safer Clubbing Partnership is one that I would and implement, given that I've seen a lot of incidents where students have been assaulted or attacked by those who actually don't go to our university in a club. So it's safer travel and safer clubbing. And my final priority is obviously with cost of living and mental health. So it's a campaign on driving down the cost of necessities on campus and a campaign where mental health is no longer taking a backseat. The university proactively takes charge of students' mental well-being, checks in on them, instead of having to rely on students' reach out. Those are my 4 areas of focus.
Yeah, and one final question, obviously, what makes you stand out from other welfare and campaigns officer candidates?
I think it's my experience. I am a residential life tutor at university, which means I deal with welfare and welfare incidents on an almost daily basis. And also, I have been a trustee for Work Students Union, which means I do understand how the union works. And I understand the boundaries of what is and isn't possible, and I can try and negotiate around those boundaries. So I know the bureaucracy, and hopefully, having been through an incident where the Students Union was campaigning for online only teaching, I think that was it. I know that the Students Union need to work for students and consult students instead of just taking charge and forcing its voice upon us, the student population.
Great. That is all the questions. Thank you to Harry for taking part in this interview. And you can make sure to check out all of our other interviews with all the other candidates for every role as you decide who becomes your or who is part of your next Warwick SU body.